Okay, so today we are going to take a look at the signed limited edition of Firestarter. This actually is the true first edition of the book. It was published by Phantasia Press prior to the release of the trade edition. So it is the true first edition of the book. It was done in two states, a numbered state and a lettered state. And it is with heavy heart that I must confess that I do not own a copy of the asbestos-bound lettered state of the book. The reason why is because in the late 80s, maybe around 1989, 1990, somewhere in that time frame, 90, could have been 91 at the latest, but I went into a used and rare bookshop and they had a copy of each, the numbered and the lettered state of the book. The numbered state, as you'll see in a second, features beautiful, gorgeous wraparound dust jacket artwork, whereas the lettered one is bound in asbestos, which is looks like tinfoil, and it is a hideous, ugly, horrible-looking book, with all due respect to Phantasia Press. Young me took a look at that asbestos-bound book, and I thought it was the ugliest thing in the world. The numbered one was being sold for $150. The lettered one was $425, and I passed on the lettered. I picked up the numbered, and since then, as you guys may know, the lettered one has soared in value, and these days it's demanding $40,000 for a copy. So I will, unless I win a lottery, I will not be the owner of a lettered Firestarter. So sadly, I don't have one to show you. But this is the numbered one. It was published in a fairly plain blue slipcase with little holes cut out so you can pull the book out easily. Here's this amazing jacket artwork that wraps around the whole book. This is what attracted me to the book when I saw it back in the day. It's beautiful artwork. I'm trying to eliminate the glare here. And it was, this book was $35 upon release. I was too young in 1980 when it came out, so I got my copy about 10 years later for $150. This was the first limited edition of any Stephen King novel. Here's the book. It's got lovely gold foil stamping on the spine, Stephen King's initials on the front. It was the first signed limited edition of any Stephen King book. And as the story goes, he was sent the tip sheets to sign, and not having ever done a limited edition before, he did not realize that writers typically don't date the signature page. So what he did was he put a date on the page that he signed, and it took him 4 days to do. July 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th of 1980. So each time he signed a batch of them, he dated it. And some collectors, way more anal than I, try to collect a copy of each of these 4 dates. I personally, that's overkill. I don't need it. I just need one copy. So 725 copies were done. My copy was signed on July 7th, so the third day of signing. Even if I was offered copies of the other 3 days for low money, I would not buy them. Doesn't interest me. One is good, but it's notable as being the first Stephen King signed limited edition. And there you have Firestarter from Phantasia Press.